Good morning and welcome to my winter garden. Now, the garden's not looking the greatest. I had every intention of finishing all of my weeding before making this video. However, I didn't do that. So please enjoy my garden and my weeds. Mostly my weeds at this point, but I'll show you what I have done. And I'll show you what's growing, and yeah, mostly I'm just really proud of the fact that I've got salad greens growing in the garden. Yeah. Right, so these are the first lot of veggie patches, and you'll notice that it is particularly wet. As we walk around, you'll just see and hear a lot of it. This garden here, I've got endives and bits of lettuces and I think is it arugula? I don't even remember. That salad green there that I'm just letting go to seed because it's been quite tasty and it's grown really well. Then, here we go, smushing. Like, honestly, look at that. Ridiculous. I put these makeshift channels through the vegetable patches the other day because there was a lot of water back piling through. Here we've got some mesclun that went in the other day. We've got one lone butternut pumpkin that I somehow missed because it was covered in weeds. Am I not surprised? And I see more weeds around it, so I'm just ignoring it. I'll let it drop its seeds there and see what happens next year because I'm lazy. Here we've got some spinach that's going nicely. That's been lunch recently. Some spring onions, or green onions, depending on what part of the world you're in. There's another little trail. Sound of the ducks flying overhead. It's breeding season shortly. Some lettuces that I got from Awapuni these ones I grew from seed. These ones I got from Awapuni nurseries. And they've been frost damaged a little bit, but we'll see how they go. I'm not really too worried while they're this height. Some carrots. The carrots over there were a bit of a sadness. The last of the broccoli, currently going to seed because I don't like broccoli. More lettuce. So why did I grow broccoli if I don't like broccoli? Other people like broccoli that I live with, so that's fine there. Some calendula. It's been growing all year, actually. I didn't think it was all year, but it keeps dropping its seeds and springing up again. I'm growing this for the bees as well as to make orange dye. Yes. And then we've got a few poppies because why not? Some celery, a puddle, more celery, and the last of a bunch of carrots up that end. I need to put in some more carrot seedlings, and you'll see why. I haven't done so well of late. On this point here, what we've got is the start of the strawberries going around the edge. Some leeks. These aren't in a very good line. Most of them were volunteers. Some more leeks that I planted. Some more leeks that need thinning. I can't remember if they're cauliflowers or cabbages, but they're one or the other there. Down this end, we've got peas, more celery and more random lettuces. Yeah, so that's looking pretty good. Another big massive puddle right here. Yep, because that's how much rain there is everywhere. We're ignoring this random weed on the lawn there that I'm hoping will get mowed in. But I mean, generally it's looking all right. These blue buckets have all got tulips in them. I'm very pleased I didn't put the tulips in the ground, looking at how much rain we've had. And there was a cyclone earlier in the year. We just got rain. But it's just, everything is so waterlogged. It's quite ridiculous. And yeah, then we'll go over to that far side where we're going to play Ignore the Weeds. Right, over here, if we look at this patch here, you go, oh, Juanita, you've done so well. You're amazing. Yeah, there's a bucket of weeds and everything. Haven't really done that well. We've planted some spinach down this end. We've got some basically chicken food down the other end. The cucumber frames that I haven't got around to moving. Then we've got the piece de resistance, the cabbage patch, the radicchio that really doesn't look like what it looks like on the packaging. Still don't know whether it's ready or whether it's gone past it or what to do with it. Maybe I should just harvest some and just put it in a coleslaw and be done with it. Now what I do have is quite a bit of white butterfly caterpillar damage on the outer leaves of my cabbages, but I'm pretending not to worry about it because I didn't want to spray anything on it back in the day. Here my garlic's popped up nicely, so I've just got to ignore that for a while. This here, I don't know what this is. I think it's the same blue flower that's over there, but it's self-seeded itself. I think I'm going to weed it out but I left it because it was too small to weed out. It was just complicated, so I've just left it. Yeah, mostly this patch here is now garlic and marigolds going to seed. Down the far end we've got some lettuce and some more weeds. This one here I planted Swedes or turnips, so I can't even remember. I'm going to have to look at my picture and see. Some self-seeded coriander there which keeps popping up, and I'm just leaving it because coriander doesn't like being transplanted. Yeah, so you know, some parsley. We go through a lot of parsley. A big clump of grass right there, another one right there, another one back there. They're all coming out. These leggy things were all marigolds, I want to say, back in summer, but now the winter's killing them off and they're dropping their seeds, and I'm just kind of ignoring them, but they've got to come out. They're a bit ugly. Here's what I've been avoiding with the weeding. Yep, this patch and this patch by the compost. Now the reason why I'm avoiding it is that I planted here one type of onions, another type of onions, leeks and carrots. I didn't stop to think about the fact that when weeds come up in this patch, it's always grass, because it's quite close to the long grass, and the weed seeds would have blown in spring and summer and autumn. You know, you name it, I've got grass seed in this patch. It did have potatoes in it. The potatoes have come up. I did plant some peas down that end. I meant to plant some more peas down this end, and then I didn't. Got some celery, but the celery is looking like dwarf celery. These are also some weeds. This is a bin of tulips. Yeah, so I've got to weed that, but I keep looking at it and going, I don't want to disturb my onions because my onions were such a fail last year. So I might just be looking at a lot of grass for a while. And I grow grass now, that's a thing. And then over here I've got 2 more rows of onions that I don't have a lot of hope for, because this is the puddle by the compost heap. These are the weeds on my compost heap. And this is all self-seeded amaranth, I think. A couple of sad broccolis at the far end. Yeah, so that's my garden in winter. It's surprisingly unimpressive, but at the same time I'm really pleased with it. I've managed to keep it growing, so there's always been something that we can eat out of the garden. This afternoon I'm going to my sister's, and I'll be making a coleslaw from sadness carrots and cauliflower and some spring onions and some parsley, and of course some cheese that I did not grow myself, and boy I wish I could grow cheese, because boy I love cheese. And we'll see how we go, but mostly it's been a very, very wet winter, so I'm hoping that today we've got a nice sunny day and things will dry out. I'm hopeful, but then hopefully I can also manage to keep updates, because I've been meaning to do this since I planted the peanuts back in November. It is now July. Yep, middle of July. The year is disappearing fast. So this is my middle of July winter garden.